Hello guys, welcome. If you're new here, this is Mfontoh-nomics, home to business, lifestyle, and entrepreneurship. Subscribe so you can be able to get constant content from us every time we get a new video for you. Today we're going to be talking about how to sell, and not just how to sell, but how to sell like a prostitute. Oh, this kind of like it's a very controversial topic, but I want you to understand something about the prostitute. A prostitute is fierce and a prostitute is fearless. And if you're in the sales world where you have to sell something to clients, to people you do not know, to people you're not related to, you have to be fierce and you have to be fearless. I want to recount a story to you. Actually, last month I was in the Manoka Islands, and I thought a couple of you guys saw that. And there's a lot of importance that I discovered about that trip. We took a boat from the shore to the middle of the sea. And at the middle of the sea, there was something spectacular that happened. The fisherman told us one thing, and he said he wants to top up the amount we initially proposed to him because it's not enough. Right now, I think you're wondering, if I was in a cab, I could step down that cab and I trek wherever I want to go, and that's all. But I was in the middle of the sea. I couldn't step down in the middle of the sea because I couldn't even swim. And that's how you have to be able to track and capture your client when you sell. And there's one set of people we're looking at. So, first reasons how you can be able to sell like a prostitute. You need to be bold. A prostitute lives in the middle of the night, and she's bold to walk the streets, and she's courageous to be able to brave the cold or brave the winter or whatsoever. Wherever you find yourself in the world, she braves that, and she stands in the middle of the night looking for clients. And she doesn't just look, she calls for them. Just imagine you seeing somebody at the road. It's difficult for you and I to even see somebody at the road and say, hey, you, come here. But the prostitute does that. She says, come, I got a product for you. And if you are not bold, you cannot sell anything, because you need to be able to be bold, to be confident in your product. If you're not bold, you cannot address your client the way they ought to hear you speak, with the confidence and the reality that there is in the product you sell. The second reason we're going to be addressing how to sell like a prostitute is you need to be able to dress so that you can be addressed properly. When a prostitute leaves for the night, she doesn't just leave and dress in rags. She leaves and she knows that there is the essence for her to be able to wear a good perfume, put on good clothing that is going to be able to attract the market which she's selling to. This is one thing we as salespersons, or you as a salesperson, given whatever circumstance or whatever service or product you're selling, have to understand. You have to dress the part, and you have to talk the part. You have to be able to dress so that you should be able to be addressed the way you want and the way your product envisions itself. So you need to be able to dress the part. And one thing more, which is the third aspect we're going to about selling like a prostitute, is that you need to be able to be fearless. She doesn't fear the muzzle of the man that passes by. She doesn't fear if it's a great big man, a huge man, or whatever. She's fearless. In the night, in the cold, there are places that we can go sometimes. We fear those streets, but they are there. It doesn't matter if there are thieves and armed robbers around there. She's fearless because she knows what she wants. You need to be able to be fearless. Let's go to the fourth thing right away, which is one of the best things I would like to talk about selling like a prostitute. She observes. As a great salesman, if you're not observant, if you don't understand your market, you cannot sell the way you have to sell. As a great salesman, if you cannot be able to watch market dynamics, if you cannot be able to forecast, if you cannot be able to tell that your client needs this product rather than this one, you are going to mess the whole show up. Because sales is not just an activity. Sales is a study. If you cannot study, you cannot sell. There's a lot you need to study about the market. There's a lot you need to be able to study about the client. There's a lot you need to be able to study about yourself before going into that fear zone of sales. Because when you get to the zone of sales, it's either you close the deal or you're closed. So there's one option you have. Do you study or do you fail? So you need to study. The last option of selling like a prostitute is one which I hold in very high esteem. If you're not ready, don't do it. A prostitute's readiness is one of the highest characteristics of her ability to be able to get the market. She's ready every single time. She's prepared for what may come. And that's one thing that every salesman needs to have. You need to be ready at every moment. If you're selling a product, the product should be in your mind. The product should be in every faculty of yourself. Because there's one important thing. Your readiness is going to tell you whether you close or you don't close. You need to be the eagle. You need to be the lion. You need to be fearless. And above all, you need to be you. And one thing which I'm adding for a bonus for you all who watch this video to the end, sales is not all about choking down things down people's throats. Sales is about honesty. Every salesman nowadays is doing so much to be able to close the deal. Is doing so much to be able to see how they push their product to the market, to be able to see how they bring back revenue for the company. But if you are not honest as a salesperson, you're not going to make a long-term career. Everybody can be a salesman, but not everybody can be a good salesman. So honesty is key in business. You need to grab your honesty and take it far, because it's that honesty that is going to build that trust that your client needs to either upsell your product the next time or close multiple deals after your first. Stay tuned to Mfontoh-nomics, where life happens. Do not forget to subscribe, because we are here for you. Have a great life. Have a great future. Ciao.